I was born in a small village on the outskirts of Zaria, where the roads were red dust and electricity was a rare guest. My father was a farmer, and my mother sold groundnuts by the roadside. Life was simple, but never easy. Every morning, before the sun rose, I'd fetch water from the stream, my feet hardened by years on gravel and thorns. School was a luxury, but I held on to it, believing it was my only way out. The idea of joining the Nigerian army didn't come from a desire for power. It came from a need for security. When I was 12, armed bandits attacked a nearby village. The fear that followed was crippling, but then the soldiers arrived. They were calm, disciplined, and brought a sense of peace. To me, they looked like guardians. From that day on, I knew my path. I want to be a soldier. I'd say people laughed. They told me I was too small, that I'd die young, but I only listened to my heart. After secondary school, the reality of poverty hit hard. There was no money for university. My father's farm barely fed us. I took on odd jobs, a motor park loader, a security guard, saving every naira I could. Every night, under the moonlight, I'd do push-ups and run along those same dusty paths, picturing myself in uniform. When the Nigerian Army recruitment portal opened, I borrowed a phone and registered. The journey to the screening center took 2 days of crowded buses and long walks. I slept on cardboard, hungry but filled with hope. The screening was brutal. Men were dismissed for the smallest errors. When it was my turn to run, my lungs burned, my legs screamed. But I thought of my village, my mother's tired hands, and the fear I felt as a child. I pushed through and finished strong. Weeks of silence followed. Then, one afternoon, a text message arrived. "You have been shortlisted for training." I fell to my knees and cried. Training camp was tougher than I ever imagined. The drills were relentless, the instructors unforgiving. Sleep was a luxury, and discipline was absolute. I learned that true courage isn't loud. It's the quiet endurance to keep going. It wasn't just my body that was being rebuilt. It was my mind. There were moments I wanted to quit, especially the night I collapsed during a route march. I thought it was over for me, but my fellow recruits lifted me up. They reminded me that soldiers never abandon their own. That moment changed everything. Months later, I stood on the parade ground, in my full combat uniform, sweat on my face, pride in my heart. My family watched from a distance. I was no longer just a village boy. I was Private Audu Musa of the Nigerian Army. Today, I serve with honor. I send money home for my siblings' education. When I visit my village, I don't go to intimidate. I go to inspire. The young boys now look at me the way I once looked at those soldiers, with hope in their eyes. And when they ask me how I did it, I smile and tell them I never forgot where I came from, and I never stopped believing I could rise. This journey taught me that your background doesn't define your future. With enough heart and hard work, you can achieve anything.